The phone rang at 3:14 in the morning, vibrating against the hard wood of my nightstand like a trapped insect. It was a harsh, ugly sound that cut straight through the soft rhythm of rain outside. I stared at the screen, eyes burning, watching an unfamiliar number pulse in the dark. At that hour, calls are never good news. They're drunk mistakes, wrong numbers, or emergencies I'm not equipped to handle. My thumb hovered over the red decline button. I'd already decided this call didn't belong in my life. And then, without knowing why, I answered it. I lifted the phone to my ear and said nothing. All I heard was breathing, shallow, panicked, wet, like someone who had been running for a very long time.
A brittle, elderly voice finally whispered, "Is this the Department of Archives? Please, don't put me on hold again. The light is blinking, and I don't know how to stop it." He thought I was tech support, or a night clerk in some forgotten municipal office. The absurdity almost made me hang up. But then his voice cracked, and he said, "I pressed the wrong button, and I think I erased her." That sentence pulled me fully awake. I erased her. I sat up in bed, the sheets falling away, cold air on my chest. I didn't correct him. I didn't explain that he had called a private cell phone in a quiet suburb. I just asked softly, "What happened?" He told me about an old answering machine on his kitchen counter, one with a blinking red light that meant the memory was full. He said he'd tried to delete a few telemarketers. His hands shook. His eyesight wasn't what it used to be. And then the machine made a long, terrible beep. The first saved message, the one he'd kept since 2011, was gone.
For a few minutes, we existed in a strange intimacy. Two strangers connected by a signal tower, talking about a small plastic box that held a ghost. He told me about the message. It wasn't a love letter, it wasn't a goodbye. It was his wife asking him to pick up groceries for a pot roast, potatoes, the red kind, onions. Her voice was interrupted by a dog barking, followed by her own surprised laughter. He described that laugh with impossible precision, the way it lifted at the end, the breath in it. For more than 10 years, every Sunday morning, he would press play while the coffee brewed, just to fill the kitchen with the sound of her needing him. He was crying now, quietly, apologizing, to me, to her, asking if I could access the servers, if I could pull the file back from wherever deleted things go. He truly believed that somewhere in a room of blinking lights and spinning discs, I held the backup to his life. That's when something rose in my throat, sharp and overwhelming. I realized I wasn't listening to a man who needed technical help. I was witnessing how fragile memory really is, how desperately we outsource our hearts to machines because we're terrified our own minds will fail us. As he repeated her words, potatoes, the red kind, don't forget the onions, I understood something quietly miraculous. The reporting was gone, truly gone, but in his panic, he had resurrected her. By trying to explain what he lost, he had recreated it. He carried the rhythm of her voice in his own. The machine had failed, the plastic had betrayed him, but the memory was burned so deeply into him that he didn't need the device anymore. He was the archive. When he finally stopped talking, breathless and exhausted, he asked if I had retrieved the file. I lied. I told him I couldn't restore the tape, but that the system showed the message was safe, archived in a permanent storage that couldn't be erased, even if he couldn't hear it anymore. "It's in the primary database now," I said. "It's safe."
He exhaled like a soul settling back into its body. He thanked me, told me I was a good man. Then the line went dead. I didn't go back to sleep. I lay there listening to the rain, to the silence of my house, carrying the quiet, beautiful burden of being the only other person who knew about the red potatoes, the onions, and the way a woman who died 12 years ago used to laugh when the dog barked. I set the phone down and promised myself I would remember.